himself presents to me many challenges that burden me. My heart center shines and calls to me. This is who I choose to be. Sometimes lessons.
Welcome to the Vibrational Alchemy Podcast. This is Penny Fisher, and we are so glad you are joining us for this week's episode. Hey, everybody. So glad that you're here. So happy that we're together. Cannot believe that we are already here in episode 8. I don't know how that happened, but I am thrilled and honored and really humbled to be here with you all. So thanks for being here. I'm Penny Starhart. This is the Vibrational Alchemy podcast series. And before we get started, I want to just take a minute and check in with you, see how things are going. How you're navigating some of those self-love practices that we talked about last week. I'm hoping that you're being really playful with those practices, finding ways to make them your own, make them part of your daily practice, right? Practicing them often and with intention and focus is more important than doing it in the way anybody tells you, including me. So maybe take a minute, check in with yourselves, see where you're at and how's that going. And if you have not gotten to it, but you want to, please remember we talked about judgment, right? And this is not a place to judge yourself. Whatever is happening for you is the right and perfect thing at this time. So just trust it. So as we get ready to get going, I want you to know that this episode is being dropped on December 30th of 2023. And we have some huge energies running. We are right after the winter solstice. We are, I think, still in just at the end of the full moon energies. The moon went full on December 27th. So 3 days before, 3 days after, we're still in that energy. And we are coming into the energies of the new year, the beautiful energies of 2024. And so today, what I want to talk about, and this hopefully will be helpful for you at all times, but in particular today, I'm really bringing in the energies of getting ready to step into the new year, 2024. And I want to talk today about a way to do that with fearlessness, right? With joy, with that childlike curiosity that we've been talking about. And we can do that through the practice of allowing, right? You may have heard the term surrender. I know that that can flip some of us out. So let's talk about it as allowing, all right? And I'm going to include today a channeled message from an ascended master, from Mary Magdalene. Again, this is not about religion. This is not about the human being. This is the energy of this avatar. And this sets the energetic stage for our work today. I'm going to share just a little brief part here, and then the second part toward the end of our time together, because she includes a practice that we'll expand on, but I think will really help you. So this is what she says. Be open to change. The places where you resist change are actually beautiful gifts to you, showing the places where your ego still holds sway. And so you struggle to surrender fully to the loving guidance of your divine I am presence, of the light of your soul. Okay, be open to change and hey, full disclosure here. I Hey, yeah, I'm really good with change as long as I can control every aspect of it, right? As long as I can control how long it's going to take, what the steps are, who's going to be involved, exactly what they're going to do. I'm okay. I'm good with change as long as I have, the plan. And I don't know about well, let me ask you this. How many of you feel like you need to have a plan? You always need to have a plan, right? And I've got both hands raised in the air, right? We plan. We plan for our education, we plan for our careers, we plan for our social lives, our finances, our retirement. I mean, everything everything that we've grown up with, everything that we're surrounded by says we have to, and if I was writing this, it would be all caps, we have to have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, we've got a name for you. We've got a label for you, right? Society is going to say you're what? Lazy, unproductive, unmotivated, right? You're one of those slackers. And the plan, right, is not just about a goal or a desired outcome. The plan also has to have steps and a checklist and maybe an agenda. And believe me, I am the queen of all of that, right? You tell me what has to be done. You give me some deadlines, I'm on it. I can tick off boxes on a to-do list like nobody's business. And here's the thing. I had a very successful career living my life this way. And it was a career that I loved. It brought me a lot of joy, a lot of fulfillment, right? I I always had a plan, or I thought I did. And the plan, living my life with a plan, I got a lot of really positive reinforcement because my life went really well. So sitting where I'm sitting now and looking back, I realize that I actually really didn't have a plan as much as maybe I thought I did. Right. So, for instance, I started out, going into college, coming out of college, not really sure what I wanted to be when I grew up. Right. And at some point, I ended up in a teacher certification program. I'm telling you, that is the best way I can describe it to you. To this day, I do not have any idea how I ended up in this program. But I got enrolled, did the program, and went on to have a more than 30-year career in public education. And it was a career that I loved. I loved. And inside of that career, even more interesting things happened in ways that reaffirm for me the power of just allow and surrender, right? Um, we're going to come back to that in a minute. But all of this is to share with you that sometimes things that aren't part of the plan can actually bring us tremendous joy, can lead us to right where we're supposed to be. Okay. And to illustrate that point a little bit more, I want to take a little detour and I want to jump over to one of the teachings of the Buddha. So, Buddha's teachings are the essence of them. And again, apologies to people who are more experts in this area. I know some, but not a ton, right? So, in Buddhism, there are a series of teachings called the Four Noble Truths, and these capture the essence of the Buddhist teaching. And essentially, Buddha says that suffering is a natural part of our human experience, and that we can overcome that suffering by following this pathway of the Four Noble Truths. And for our conversation today, I want to focus on the second of these truths. And again, I hope I am getting the pronunciation right. It is samudaya. And basically, samudaya says this: there is a cause of suffering, and suffering is due to attachment, which is the desire to have and control things. Okay, so let's breathe and sit with that for a minute, especially in this context of the need, what have we received? The imperative, right, to have a plan. Personally, I don't think it's wrong to want things, right? Let's go back to what we know about quantum physics and vibration, right? If we're all aspects of source, if we're all divine beings having a human experience, that means that we hold the vibration of source energy. And so we can literally manifest anything. So, what is it that Buddha is talking about when he says that suffering is the desire to have and control things? The way that I understand this is that it's not about the desire, but it's about this need to control how it happens. Right? So, for instance, I believe it's 100% okay to tell the universe that I want financial abundance. My suffering only comes up when I am attached to how that abundance is going to come, right? And that, and the time in which it's going to happen. And quite frankly, when I'm so attached to the fact that it is going to come, right? And here's the crazy thing. And this I can attest to, and I'll share some stories with you. When we release all of that attachment, when we stop trying to control what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, the time it's going to happen in, or even that it does happen, it's like we've kind of straightened out that hose, right? We've unkinked that hose and we have unclogged the flow of abundance. And everything that we need all of a sudden starts to flow toward us. And I guarantee two things based on my own experience. One is that what you need is going to show up. And the second is it doesn't come in any way, shape, or form or time that you expect, right? In my experience, the crazier the path, the more I know that everything is being divinely guided. So here's an example, right? I already told you how I got into teaching, which was just crazy. But here's another story from another aspect of our lives. We lived for many years in a home that required us to commute. And when we first bought the home, we were young, no kids, no problem. But over time, with two children, this commute that was anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half each way every day it became a real problem. And this was right after a financial crash, and we had nothing. I mean, we really had, as my grandmothers would have said, we didn't have a pot to piss in. So there was no hope of getting into another home. It turns out that we had befriended over the years the crossing guard at our kids' school. And he was a dear man, and we'd become friends. And we were talking to him about this one day, and he said to us, "Well, how much would you need for a down payment to get into another house?" And we kind of laughed and told him what we needed. We were like, we probably need $25,000. There's just, there's no way. It's okay. It'll be all right. It'll work out. The next day, hand to God, this human being shows up and hands Gordon an envelope, my husband, an envelope with a check for $25,000. He said, "I've been very blessed in my life to have abundance, and I would be happy to loan this to you to help you get started." Right? If I could not have predicted that would have happened in that way if my life had depended on it. And it didn't happen exactly the way I wanted. Nobody gave me $25,000. I mean, we repaid that as soon as we could, right? Took a home equity loan out on the house and repaid it. And the timing, listen, we would love for this to have happened before, right? So we could have avoided some of those years of stress and commuting. But my point is this, my friends. I believe that there are three aspects to manifesting the lives we truly want to live, right? And I'm going to be talking about this in a free workshop I'm running in January. This is what the Vibrational Alchemy Soul Coaching Program does. It customizes this to help you find the places where you're blocked. But in a nutshell, it's all about the vibration that we create, right? So I believe that first we have to pay attention to what makes us happy. Happiness matters. Joy matters. It's a signal. It's a signal from our higher selves, from our divine I am presence about where we want to head. And listen, I want to be really clear. I am not in any way, shape, or form encouraging anyone who is listening to walk away from a career, a job, a relationship. It's not that. We pay attention to what brings us joy and we start to build a bridge to get step by step closer to a life that includes more and more of that kind of joy, right? So sit tight. We do the work first. We do the vibrational work first, and then the magic happens. It kind of shows up, right? The second thing is that we don't fret, we don't freak out, we don't lose hope when there are delays or detours, right? We've talked about this. These are the gifts that come wrapped in a way we don't like. So we breathe, we notice and note them, we ask them what they're here to teach us, because they're going to lead us to the places where we can learn to love ourselves more. And the more we do that work, the more we heal our own inner wounds, the more we unclog that flow, right? So those delays, those detours, they're okay. So just stay with them, right? And here, for me, this is the kicker. And I will do this with everything from having lost something in the house, and I'll ask angels for help, or to asking for enough money for a down payment on a house so that my family can have more ease, right? We ask for it, and then we trust with every fiber of our beings that if it doesn't come to pass, it's okay. Right? Remember, as vibrational beings, we are attracting to us everything that we need to continue to shift ourselves back into alignment with unconditional love. And if something doesn't happen, it's okay. We could be learning a lesson in this lifetime that we really need to learn. We could be repaying karma. We don't know, so we trust it, right? So we tell the universe, number one, we say to the universe, hey, I'd really like a new job, right? But don't name the job. Instead, think about what makes you happy and start to name those qualities, right? So now I'm in my career. I make the shift to administration. I am the assistant principal with just the most amazing principal, my partner, amazing. And I love what I'm doing. But I start to notice there are days I love to go to work and days I love to go not so much. So I start to say to the universe, I'd really like a job where I get to do X, Y, and Z all day long. This would make me so happy, right? Number two, we release all attachment to how and when those results are going to come. Now, in this case, I had already been doing a lot of work. I was co-creating with the universe very deliberately. And I said to the universe, look, if this shows up, great. If it doesn't, great. I love my job. I'm okay where I am. It'll all be good. I swear to you, within a month, I had a call from a colleague who was retiring, who said to me, I think you'd be great for my job. Here's what my job is. And I almost fell off the chair because it was exactly what I had been asking for. It involved a pay cut, but I didn't care because I wanted to be happy, right? And that's the thing. The third thing is we tell the universe, if this doesn't happen, I trust that the outcome is for my highest good. And here's the thing, folks. We have to really, really mean that. We have to release. We have to just Let it all go. I know we're all sick of the song, but Elsa in the movie Frozen had it right. We got to let it go. We notice those places where we're 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 so attached to an outcome that it's creating stress or nervousness, or we're going to feel horribly disappointed, right? And we breathe into it and we let it go. We just trust that whatever's going to come is going to be okay. All right. And so this is where this practice now from Mary Magdalene might help. And as always, if you are driving, walking, doing anything that requires your undivided attention, either pause here and come back to it later, or just let the words flow over and through you. Maintain your attention, stay safe. And I would invite you always, whenever you get to this practice, if you do, to be playful with it, mess around with it, let it be yours. All right. But this is what she says to us. I invite you now to connect with my heart and feel the power, the indomitable will, the unyielding presence of loving compassion. For it is here that we find the strength needed to navigate change. This is not strength as you have known it. Rather, it is the strength to let go. Let go of judgment and structure and control. And as you do, you may find yourself facing an emptiness and a void within yourself. This is your lack of identity. Without your identity, though, without the form of being a doctor, a healer, a parent, an engineer, who are you? Notice what arises for you in this space. Do you grasp for firm ground? Does fear create contraction? Do you feel the ache, the longing for what once was? Whatever your experience, I invite you to simply be in this space. Breathe, breathe again, and then breathe some more. Then picture yourself expanding as a beautiful rose will open its petals to the warmth of the sunlight. Know that as you allow this experience of expansion, that which was and is now no longer needed to feel the illusion of safety will be gently subsumed into the light. Be gentle with yourselves, for this shift will be gradual, and the changes may at first appear small. We ask that you be diligent in this practice, developing deep familiarity with the space of emptiness. For it is from this womb of loving presence that your potentiality is made manifest, that your new identity in the light is remembered, and that you are truly born anew. Be steadfast and know that I am always with you. And I'm going to add on to this practice a little bit. I'm going to invite you that as you're staying connected with your breath, I'm going to ask you to find places in your physical body where you're holding on, right? Where there's tension or contraction. We hold a lot of that in our shoulders, our midsection, our solar plexus section, our backs, right? Our jaws, we hold a lot there. You might even see, sense, or feel, or just imagine or pretend that that tension has a color or a texture or a viscosity to it, right? Then use your breath to do what you know how to do. Drop into your sacred heart chamber. Allow the flow of the cosmic matrix love and light to come into your heart. And then use the breath to send those energies from the cosmic matrix to where you're feeling all tight and kind of icky in your body. Keep your breathing deep and gentle and steady, and just be curious. You might see or sense or feel, or just let yourself pretend that the color or the texture that you originally sensed in this place of tension starts to shift, right? Often when I'm working with clients, I'll see the original color is like muddy or dark, kind of oily and icky. And then as we work, it changes to a beautiful color. And listen, the color is going to be unique for each of you. And it might be different each time you do this practice. So just trust it. All right. Whatever's happening for you is perfect. Also remember that the shift might come in a moment. It might come as you practice over days, or it might even come as you practice over weeks. So just trust and allow. And as you sit in that space of your sacred heart chamber, as you open yourself to the flow of the unconditional love of the cosmic matrix, as you allow it to infuse and saturate you, remember to create that container of compassion, right? And invite the energy of being attached, that energy, I've got to have this, or it has to be this way. Invite that energy into the container and let it simply rest. Use the breath to hold the space for that experience of contraction. Don't judge it. Don't push it away. Just let it rest there. Know that it's pointing you to a place where you can love yourself even more deeply. And as you do this work, as you allow yourself, as you surrender and trust, you will once again connect with the memory of who you truly are. Pure power, pure potentiality, unlimited creativity. And I guarantee, my dear friends, that that's how Source sees you, because it's who you truly are. And it is my deep and sincere wish that you see yourself in the same way. Perfect, divine, filled with love and light. I am so grateful, as always, to each of you for joining me. I am Penny Starhart. This has been the Vibrational Alchemy Podcast. Until we are together again next week, remember that you are loved and you are love. And I wish you joy and peace and curiosity as you step into the new year of 2024 with joy, with fearlessness, and with curiosity. Be well, my friends.
This is who I choose.